The Catholic Accent International Edition features blessings from around the world taking root right here in Western PA. Bishop Kulick is just back from Slovakia, the homeland of his ancestors, where he says he can trace the roots of his family and his faith.
Bilingual Bible study is happening here in Perryopolis. I'm Jordan Wyko talking about the young church, children engaged in faith and culture.
And one body in Christ, a Nigerian-Catholic family moves to Greensburg. They're far away from home, but closer than ever to their faith. The Catholic Accent starts right now. Welcome to the Catholic Accent. I'm Jennifer Mealy here at St. John the Baptist Parish in Perryopolis. Like many American churches, this parish was founded by immigrants at the turn of the century, which means the bond between faith and culture is almost unbreakable. Our international edition is packed full of cultural blessings from around the world, taking root right here in Western PA. Our own Bishop Kulick is just back from Slovakia, where he was the homilist for a nationally televised Mass and met the Slovakian president.
30 years ago, I went to Slovakia for the first time. When I went there, I literally landed in Slovakia on July 5th of 1993. And when I got there, I realized the stores were closed. And I'm thinking, are stores closed on Mondays in Slovakia? And here I was told this is a national holiday, and it was the first one post-communism, a state holiday for St. Cyril and Methodius. And I remember seeing these posters around town advertising the celebration of this feast day. And I asked one of the priests, I said, where can I get one of those posters? And he said, here, and he took it off the door of his church and handed it to me. I framed that, I still have it. It's even here in the bishop's residence. And I think one of the most amazing things is to think, who would ever imagine 30 years to the day that I first went to Slovakia for the first St. Cyril and Methodius celebration, I was there in Nitra celebrating the Mass. I found out the president was going to be in attendance, and so literally a couple days before I sort of amended my remarks because I thought the last thing I wanted to do was have some kind of diplomatic faux pas. So I was making sure how I should address her. The message in my homily was really talking about my own experience as a Slovak American and how being raised in a Slovak parish and having that history and that culture was an important part of my formation, my identity. But also, I talked about how it was an important part of my own vocational discernment. I was saying in Novo Bistrica, which was on my father's side, the ancestral village, it was very interesting that I was talking to the town historian, and he found of all of the cities in the world where people immigrated from this little village of Novo Bistrica, Lichburg was #1. But when I went to the cemetery, it's amazing to see the names of so many of the names that were names I grew up with, names that still exist. Every now and then, like my own, Kulick would be K-U-L-I-C-H. A few might change a vowel or something, but you recognize the names immediately. I think the greatest thing is always to remind yourself that there's a much bigger world and a much larger universal church, and that we're all part of it. And so what I bring back is hopefully just another, not only experience of seeing that, but also hopefully in my ministry to understand with pastoral sensitivity that the world doesn't revolve around us.
Communist influence in post-World War II Eastern Europe made practicing the faith in Slovakia difficult for decades. In other parts of the world, like the Holy Land, Christians are still persecuted for worshiping Jesus.
My name is Ronnie Salsa. I am one of the Catholic members of Bethlehem City, and the Shepherd's Field is my town where the angels came announcing the birth of Jesus. I came to the United States 20 years ago. I represent a mission called Land of Peace, which is a non-profit organization. The main reason of being here in the United States is to let people know that there are still Christians living in the Holy Land, although now we are only 1% left in whole Israel.
Daily life for Palestinian Christians is difficult. Bethlehem, like other Palestinian cities, is surrounded by a 26-foot cement wall, topped with razor wire and watchtowers. Residents cannot travel freely outside the city, even to visit family members. The wall isolates these communities and makes them like a prison.
Bethlehem is only 6 miles away, south of Jerusalem, and If you want to travel to Jerusalem, you have to apply for a special documentation, like a visa. And for us as Palestinians, first you have to apply for something called magnetic card. If you get it, then you can apply for a visa to visit or study or work. We have more than 140 checkpoints around Palestinian territories. And daily, more than 80,000 workers just go from Palestinian territories to Israel to work there. Our mission, which is landofpeace.org, we've been visiting churches in Greensburg Diocese since 2004. The Christians in the Holy Land needs the 3 P's. The first P stands for prayers. We ask the parish to pray for us, to pray for peace in the Holy Land, to pray for the Christians in Bethlehem and Jerusalem. The second P stands for pilgrimage. We encourage people to visit the Holy Land. We believe that the Holy Land is the 5th gospel. So if you read the 4th gospel, you have to see it, where it happened. Anybody would like to visit the Holy Land, it's going to be a life-changing experience for them. And the third P stands for projects. And one of those projects is the olive wood carvings from Bethlehem. And as people know, the olive tree is a blessed tree. It was mentioned in the Bible, but some of the pieces we have, like the one behind me, is a 1,000-year-old branch. It's a very special masterpiece. We take from about 400 carvers and their families. We try to raise money for them.
Ronnie Salsa will be one of several presenters at an experiential evangelization event in September called Know Him, Stunned Disciples. You too may be stunned by the plight of the Christians in the Holy Land.
The plight of Ukrainians displaced by the war is weighing on the hearts of children in the Diocese of Greensburg. How they plan to help is part of my story coming up after the break.
I'm Jordan Wyko. Our international edition continues with a story from Perryopolis. Bilingual Bible study for children is getting muy popular. A feature on the Young Church is coming up.
A Nigerian family is living their faith 6,000 miles away from home, and it's having a big impact on a Greensburg parish. I'm John Zilka. That story after the break.
Even right now, I'm a senior graduating in college, like out of St. Vincent. I want to do my 4 years here again. That's how much I love this place.
I've had so many experiences and I've met so many wonderful people here, and I'm just so thankful that they've helped me grow into who I am now.
St. Vincent's just a place where if you're here, you're just magnetized toward positivity and openness and kindness to people. It's just what happens, and that's why, that's what a home is. So that's why St. Vincent's my home.
Welcome back to the Catholic Accent. We often talk about the importance of interactive catechesis that engages young children and plants the seeds of faith for a lifetime. Jordan Whitecoat tells us about how this parish here in Perryopolis is doing just that.
Lucecitas is a bilingual early learning program that means little lights, and the classes offer lessons and socializations in both English and Spanish for infants, young children, and their parents here in Perryopolis.
My family's from Puerto Rico. I was born in the United States. My dad was in the Navy for 30 years and we moved around a lot. And I went to many, many different churches. When we moved here, it was different. I felt like something was missing that I had in those Navy churches that we didn't have here at the time. Lucecitas means little lights, and I came up with it for the Bible verse that says we have to be a light to the world, and I want our little lights to grow and shine and be positive lights of faith in their community and their church out in the world. Learning a language teaches them a whole new different way to think about things. It's helping kids with their critical thinking skills to learn in a different language, and then to learn the Bible in a different language. Even reading the Bible as an adult in Spanish, some of the things are just worded differently, and you just grasp it more. You grasp it better because you're hearing and learning it in a different manner.
When this, shall I say, mission came up, Juliana asked me if she could help in the catechism class. I went back to your diocese. When Greensburg opened for a mission, you started calling Filipinos with our own language. Faith was spoken, Greek, Aramaic, Hebrew, then handed down to us. It is widening the development, that we should not only be restricted to our very own language.
So we do Bible stories, and I do have like Bible verses, and we have our different Bibles for the different levels available for them to look at. And we do it here because I think making positive connections at the church and positive memories at the church helps people, even if they're not Catholic, a lot of my homeschoolers weren't, be comfortable like coming here and making a happy memory, which we need to be a light for the world to see.
Families are also the centerpiece of Spanish Mass at Ascension Parish in Jeanette. It's held every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. and celebrated by Benedictine Father Job Foote, parochial vicar. There are many young families in attendance and children participating in various lay ministries of the Mass. Parishioner Bernadette Dixon attends each Sunday as a representative from the parish.
Mass is very special here at the Spanish Mass on Sunday evenings, but afterwards is very, very important as well. We meet in Mercinger Hall and socialize, and everyone shares in a meal and just fellowship with each other.
I'm John Zilka. A Nigerian family has found a home away from home in Greensburg. They've quickly made a big impact on Our Lady of Grace Parish.
I came to the United States. I was the first to come here to live. I came for studies. I am a nurse. I'm a registered nurse from Nigeria. And I came here and I did public health education. And I continued some other studies in nursing. So I came like in January of 2017. And in August, my children came with my husband. And I liked the diversity I saw here.
I think the community here too, there's something just different about it. Each time we come here, it's just something different. I don't know.
Home.
It looks like
home away from home.
That's true. So I think I can just say maybe it's God wanted us to be here at this time.
I was born in Lagos. Then my father got transferred to Abuja, and he came to Abuja for there's something we call NYSC, National Youth Service Corps. After college, you have to serve your country for 1 year. So he came to Abuja for that and joined my choir coincidentally, and that's where we met.
One of the things that endeared us together was that when I came to the choir, she was one of the best voices in the choir then. She has a beautiful voice.
I'll try. Being in the choir is one thing that has really helped me in life, because there has to be something that gives you strength, and godly music that gives you encouragement and reminds you that even when everything fails and everyone goes away, God always remains there. We were glad we came here and our services were needed.
If there's anything to do to help, we do that. As parents too, you do this to see how you can draw in your kids. You don't need to talk too much when they see you being part of it.
I'm a volunteer for VBS. We also altar serve.
It feels nice to help out and contribute to something.
Wherever we go to, we find it a privilege to be with people. You don't know how much time you have on earth
and to make a difference.
To make a difference too.
Positive difference.
And to do the work of God. Because I come to this church, I see some people that are in their 90s, they're still Eucharistic ministers, they're still singing in the choir. So there's never a right time to serve God. The time is now, because you're here now. You can't account for tomorrow because you don't know if tomorrow is going to be yours.
I'm Jordan Waiko. An international food festival in Mass will welcome a Filipino bishop who has been pivotal to our International Priest program. Find out how to get your ticket next.
The Diocese of Greensburg is partnering with the local business community to offer Ukrainian newcomers a soft place to land in Western Pennsylvania. That story is coming up.
I'm Robin Mall with an easy way to put veggies on the menu. Stay with us. The Catholic Accent will be right back.
Ford Business Machines technicians are never satisfied with anything less than perfection.
Which is better, 1 or 2?
They take the time to fully understand the scope of the issue and make it crystal clear that you will be able to view your documents at a level that you should expect.
Now, which is better?
That's the one right there.
Don't settle for less when it comes to your company's image. Call today for a well-defined analysis of your current picture.
At Cinti Progester Chiropractic Center, we use technology to analyze a patient's spine.
It impulses at a high frequency, low speed into the spine.
Here you can see the patient's progress and improvement along the way. We have Westmoreland Live O2, which is oxygen therapy.
Inflammation causes 90% of someone's pain. So you're going to see change with low back pain, knees, shoulders, legs, feet.
We've been here for 25 years. We're brothers, and we look forward to taking care of your family.
Welcome back to the Catholic Accent. As the war in Ukraine heats up, so do efforts to help those who are fleeing to the United States. Here's Cliff Gorski.
Since February of 2022, many individuals in the Diocese of Greensburg have been watching the Russian invasion in Ukraine and praying that they could find a way to help.
First and foremost, I think for every child it's very important to know that somebody pray for them. And that support that children from St. Anne show to Ukrainian these children who or lost their parents or without parents' help, it's a big help and big support, and maybe give them some confidence that somebody worry about them.
Religious education teachers and students from St. Anne and Holy Family Parish came up with a plan to reach across the world to show their care and concern.
I said, could I do a banner with my children for the Ukraine? And Father was there. He said, I love it.
I guess there was something with the Spirit that was guiding me that says, do it. And I thought it would be exciting to get the kids involved in something like this. We hear about it in the news, on the social medias, Facebook, wherever the kids are at nowadays, wherever they're connected. But that's out there until they're able to actually touch it with their hands, which they in fact did do.
Students symbolically imprinted their hearts and painted their hands to decorate the banner, which was sent to orphan children at a Western Ukraine orphanage under the loving care of Catholic nuns.
It's family-style home, named after Blessed Emilian Koch, Ukrainian martyr. Now, this orphanage, they were relocated from the territory where the war is now.
I hope they see love in that big poster. I hope they feel that they have protection from every continent, every state, every country, that they have protection, forgiveness, and hope and love going their way.
They didn't stop with the banner. They used what they've been learning, showing the mercy and compassion of Christ through word and prayer.
The 7th graders made cards and translated from English to Ukrainian language different messages of hope and love and support.
I did one of the cards, sending prayers and love and hoping that everything is okay for everybody.
It's to touch the hearts of our own children here to realize that we are all brothers and sisters across the world. God created us all. So when God has blessed us with abilities, let's share it and show it to other people of the world.
The Diocese of Greensburg is partnering with the local business community to help Ukrainians displaced by the war. The diocese has built a bilingual website inviting newcomers to learn more about living, working, and worshiping in Western Pennsylvania. Catholic Charities will provide free travel, meals, and hotel accommodations to those who wish to visit Greensburg. Our Catholic mission is to provide for the spiritual and physical needs of those impacted by the war in Ukraine. Learn more at dioceseofgreensburg.org/welcome to Westmoreland.
International priests now serve in 1/3 of the parishes in the Diocese of Greensburg. Many of them have made special bonds with parishioners, and now the diocese wants to say thank you to church leaders who make their service possible.
Part of my ministry here in the parish is to visit homebounds, for example, nursing homes. And it just so happened that I came to see Ed in his house here, and it becomes a regular visit, especially during Friday.
I love having him here on Fridays. It's really nice. We talk about anything and everything, what he likes about the United States of America.
Local history, for example, where what this place looks like before, during his younger years. There was a time that I visited him during lunchtime, I think, or before lunch, and I saw that he was preparing a tomato sandwich, and I was asking, oh, what is that? And then it's tomato sandwich. And that was my first, well, I heard about tomato sandwich, but I did not know what it looks like until Ed shows me how it is done. And then, since I have also my garden, so every time I have my tomato, and then I made my own tomato sandwich.
Just very simple, 2 slices of bread and a tomato cut over it and some mayonnaise put on it, salt and pepper,
and then that's it.
And enjoy it.
And you can remember perhaps the tomato sandwich I made, though it has no nice presentation, so to speak, but it is good.
Yeah.
It's because Ed showed me how to do it.
I like to explain things to people. Had all my life practically. And,
while I do regular visits to some other parishioners, those who are in the homebound, but this thing becomes a regular visit without any schedule. Anytime that I just come ahead, I'll be showing up this afternoon, and then that's it. There is no such thing as a scheduled time. It just so happened that usually Friday it happens. And I think he is my dad here in the United States.
I'm proud of it. Makes me feel good.
This is one of many special bonds that give the Diocese of Greensburg reason to be thankful. Soon, Father Julius's bishop from the Philippines will visit our diocese, and you can be there to thank him for being one of many Filipino dioceses that are committed to our International Priest Program. Join Bishop Kulick and Bishop Medill Aseo for Mass, followed by an International Food Festival on Friday, August 25th at Christ Our Shepherd Center in Greensburg. Sample food from the Philippines, Italy, and Eastern Europe, and enjoy entertainment in each room. Tickets are expected to sell out quickly, so log on now to dioceseofgreensburg.org/foodfest.
These men have hearts for the mission of the church. How you can support our priests in training, coming up.
I'm Robin Mall in the kitchen with Monsignor Raymond Riffle with a summer recipe straight from the garden. The Catholic Accent will be right back.
Welcome to the Pantalone Funeral Home. As a family-owned business and staple of the Greensburg community for over 50 years, we are here to support you and your family during your most difficult times. Regardless of your preferences or needs, we will consult with you to provide you with a service that is unique and reflects on the deceased's personal life and memory. If you are considering pre-arranging your own service, the arrangements you make will reflect your exact wishes and will help to ease the burden of your loved ones. For more information, please visit our website or call for assistance.
This year, Bishop Kulick has accepted 3 new seminarians into the formation program for our diocese. These new seminarians will begin what the church has introduced as the new program of priestly formation, the propedeutic year. And so this term, one that's not common to us, is a word that literally means a time of learning the fundamentals of what the man is preparing to take on in their life. Step out of the world and immerse into a world of prayer, into an environment where they focus on their relationship with Christ and how God is calling them to use these gifts in service for future ministry. And one of the biggest challenges that we are faced in the Diocese of Greensburg is the cost that we will incur because of this program. I encourage everyone to prayerfully consider supporting the future of our clergy and the seminarians of our diocese.
To support the propedeutic year, visit dioceseofgreensburg.org, click on Ways to Give, and select Seminarian and Clergy Formation Collection.
I'm Robin Mall in the kitchen with Monsignor Ray Ripple at Blessed Sacrament Cathedral. What are we preparing today?
We're going to prepare a caprese salad with pesto vinaigrette. And it's not that hard to do, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. We're going to start with fresh basil leaves, fresh tomatoes, and fresh mozzarella cheese. The first thing we want to do is cut the tomatoes in nice, decent size slices, so that it's sort of a hearty presentation. The next thing we're going to do is slice the mozzarella about half the size of the tomatoes. So why don't we plate?
When you're layering this, is there a specific order that it should go in?
It's tomato, basil, mozzarella. So you sort of want to make it in a line across the plate.
For the dressing, we need a food processor.
Yes, you do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're taking 3 fresh cloves of garlic, and I'm putting that in a garlic press, and I'm going to press it right over the top of the food processor. 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, 1/3 cup of pine nuts, 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, a cup and a half of fresh basil leaves, 2 tablespoons of white balsamic vinegar, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and you have to say Dijon mustard. You've done this before. Once you've pulsed it 4, 5, 6 times, you don't want to disintegrate it, then you are going to take the half cup of extra virgin olive oil, and we're going to turn the processor on and add the oil very slow so it emulsifies, and salt and pepper. You'll know when it's done when it looks like a thick, creamy texture. Now, I'm not a good drizzler,
okay,
so I'm going to say that up front. So, and there's no right or wrong way to do this. You basically want this flavor on that food.
Okay.
So it's, you know, we're not going to grade me or anybody on the drizzling. We're also going to give you the option of a balsamic vinegar glaze that you can add onto it.
Our salad is prepared. It is time to taste.
And you want to try to get some of all of it together. Ready?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Definitely adds a lot of flavor to the traditional caprese salad. It's delicious. Thank you very much for inviting us into your kitchen today.
You're quite welcome, and enjoy.
To watch this show or read more, visit theaccentonline.org. I'm Jordan Wyko. Thanks for watching.